Welcome back.
NicknLex here.
Hello, everyone.
How's it going? So tonight we're gonna do a Dan request for
Dave. Thank you very much to Dave for requesting this AURORA song called The Seed. He requested this in honor of Earth Day, which is among us. So he requested that it be released on Earth Day.
The 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So here we are. Very excited about this. He did give us some background info that she wrote it when she was 18 years old. You've done more AURORA than I have on the channel,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. So yeah, I know that AURORA is very aware of like nature, you know, and also she expresses that in her videos. And also I've seen some interviews that was very adorable that she said for every album that would get bought, she would plant a tree.
Ooh,
so that's,
nice.
you know, a pretty cool feat because if it's millions, you know, we can always use more trees. But it's just like really, she's legitimately like serious about this. But I think sometimes misunderstood.
Okay.
Because she's like, and then we can all move into the forest. And people are like, okay. Yeah, but she really means it. Like she means it with a kind heart. But she's, I guess, you know, a little bit more on the hippie side and has that really sweet mentality. And I think a lot of people don't understand.
But I love
really
that
like it.
because she may just be one person, but she's trying to make as much of a difference as she can. And if we would all do the same, right? So if they say, oh, she's not going to change anything because she's just one person, but if we would all do it, right?
Yeah, there's a
like
saying,
they say.
that,
So,
but yeah,
I'm excited about this, and I am also very grateful to Dave for being a Dan member.
Yes.
As a Dan member, you get one guaranteed song or video reaction in this case, and you also get access to 2 full albums every month and everything else that we've uploaded, documentaries and all the funs. So thank you all so much for being here. If you know of AURORA, we have only done together the song Lucky.
Yeah.
Which I absolutely loved. Absolutely.
Very
loved
unique. She's just like, she reminds me a little bit of, sometimes she reminds me a little bit of Bjork because she's very unique.
Yes.
Not in the vocal style, but just in the uniqueness. And we've seen her in that video, she's singing in a church.
Yeah.
Wonderful voice. She has very eclectic way of moving. And I just love everything. It's just she's very unique. She's from Norway.
Yes.
She's 27 as of 2024. So yeah, so
I'm excited. Let's get started. Thank you all so much for being here, and let's see what this video will bring us.
Yes.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you,
so,
everyone.
Yeah, it doesn't say if it's like an official video, but I think it is.
I'm pretty sure it is, yeah.
Here we go.
Okay. Wow. That's
just like the seed. I don't know where to go. Through dirt and shadow I grow. I'm reaching light through the struggle. Just like the seed, I'm chasing the wonder. I unravel myself, all in slow motion.
wow.
Suffocate me, so my tears can be rain. I will water the ground where I stand. so the flowers can grow back again. 'Cause just like the seed, everything wants to land. We are burning our fingers, but we learn and forget.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Wow. Very powerful.
Very, very powerful. I loved the lyrics. I mean, the song is very catchy.
Yeah,
Obviously,
yeah.
I was very captivated by the visual aspect of everything, the lyrics,
Yeah.
but I was still able to pay attention to the little
Everything.
details of the music.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. And obviously the lyrics hit hard, you
Mhm.
know, and with the imagery that she gives as well, it goes together very well.
Yeah.
You know?
I love that she does something like this because I think nowadays, since we live in an age where media is so fast,
Mhm.
and I think we've grown very like unsensitive,
Mhm.
and we don't really like think of anything anymore.
Yeah.
Like, so like this stuff that's happening, you know, since we've seen it so often, it's just
Mhm.
like, well, you know,
It's happening.
it's so
Mhm.
amazing because we just went to a museum, Lexi and I, and we saw the planetarium.
Mhm.
And basically, when you go there, you feel so small because you realize like we live all together on this planet and we
Mhm.
never think of this, you know,
Mhm.
and we only have one.
Yeah.
And I told her, and you know, you see these images of like, oh, the Earth like 38 million years ago, and then you know, and then you see it 20 million years ago, and then in this little like
Lapse of time.
insignificant window of like 100 years, we have basically like been able to destroy this
Mhm,
planet,
mhm.
like almost, you know.
Right.
And a lot of people are, you know, they're either tired of hearing it or they don't want to hear it, they don't want to accept it. But it is, I mean, just from the images you can see.
Right.
And if you've ever been in a hurricane, and you've ever felt that power.
That's what I was going to say. I loved how she expressed how much bigger the earth is than us, right?
Yeah.
Like the processes that happen, the tsunamis, the earthquakes, the shifts that happen, whether we are here or not, that have
the
happened
eruptions,
before.
volcanoes, like it really happens, and that forces
whether we go to work or not, whether we go on our daily lives.
Yeah, the planet doesn't care. Like if we have $10 million on the bank, hey, they're just gonna rain lava on us, you know.
Yes.
But yeah, like remember when we were in Florida in that hurricane, and we were in a military building because we knew some friends. That building literally started to dent at places because of the force of that hurricane. So it's just like, and these things have been happening since the beginning of time, but they happen more frequently nowadays because the earth is kind of like, you know, kind of saying, whoa,
pushing back a little,
like give me a break here.
Yeah, but I love
that she does this, but that she's, you know, at 19, when I was 19, you know, I wasn't aware of these things, you know, I didn't really know.
Yeah.
But again, we didn't have so much information and access. I think it's very beautiful and very noble
I agree.
To, you know, care. And she legitimately does, because most of her videos are about this and her lyrics. And it's true, like you can't eat paper, you can't eat money or coin.
What we're concerned about every day, because we have to be, right? Because we have to pay rent, we have to pay our mortgage, like obviously
our insurance.
We have to do this because these are the rules that were created for us to be able to function as a society. However, we have lost sight of what's a little bit more important than that as a base, you know, because without the health of the planet, none of this can exist. Well, if this goes down.
Yeah, I've always been very like fascinated by you, like that you're always just with the trash, you know, you always like to recycle, and you just do it because, hey, it's just a deed to help out a little bit, you know, it's a little bit. It's like, it's not like we're going to plant trees and stuff, like we know, but at least, you know, we do a little bit. And I love that about you. And it's just a little thing, you know,
thank you,
to not pollute or litter. And I used to be very bad. I have to be honest. In Mexico, you know, I would just throw like stuff, like wherever it would fall. And Alexa's like, hey, you're going to pick that up, you know? And I was like, I just had the wrong concept of, oh, everybody does it here in Mexico.
It doesn't matter.
There's a lot of trash, you know? And it's kind of weird because in Germany it was always clean. And I don't know why I start to think this way, to just develop this.
But it's a cultural thing in Mexico. A lot of people do it.
You just litter because there's so much garbage that you just... there are garbage cans now even more.
Yeah.
You know, but I guess when I moved to Mexico, it was very... it was like free for all.
Yeah, but now I was amazed. Mexico has become so much more conscious of these things.
Oh yeah, it's very clean now.
Right,
yeah.
and there were different trash cans everywhere.
Recycling is being done.
But in Europe,
always.
Wow, when we went, it was like
Spain,
separate glass, separate plastics, separate metals, like. Oh my God.
And then remember how they took it out of the ground? It was all in the ground.
Yeah,
it was like
underneath.
in these giant holes. So you could recycle, but it would fall into the ground, and then a truck would pick it out of the ground. Very cool technology.
Yeah, I know.
Like they don't do this here yet, right?
And this is also just something that I saw very quickly the other day, to not make this too long, but I saw that the amount of trash that is generated everywhere, right? But the United States being such a large continent, a large country in a large continent, the amount of trash that's generated, it can be prevented in the homes. Obviously, restaurants, grocery stores, and things are another level, but in the homes is where most of it comes from, you know? So if you're a little bit more conscious of tiny decisions that you make, like, it helps, you know? I feel like, I don't know. But, and I also loved how Dave expressed that Aurora is very positive about what she believes can happen with the world, with, you know, the younger generations being a little bit more conscious and having that more fresh in their brains.
Yeah, it always, you know, it's fascinating to see, just like we just watched a movie in the 90s. It doesn't really matter what movie, but it's set in the 90s and everybody's smoking, and it's just like so bizarre to see that now nobody smokes anymore. It's just like 30 years later, everything has changed for the better. Less people, you know,
Right.
are dying.
But back then it was like, if you would say, oh, 30 years from now, no one's going to be smoking, they'd
That
be like,
wasn't-
yeah, right.
No, I mean, and
You
then
know?
if you go back to the 70s and 60s, people were smoking on planes, you know. And I think in the 90s too, I think after 9/11 that changed, but it's just like, it's so crazy how in 100 years so much has changed that we're talking about the invention of the light bulb, and now we're talking about AI.
Yeah.
You know, constantly. It's like everywhere in the news, and it's just so crazy how long it took to get to such a tiny fragment in time, and it's going super fast, you know. So that's just like, you know, that's what worries me a little bit, you know, I have to be honest. And I would love to.
And that's why taking care of, I feel like, the earth, like she said, I mean, if we're conscious about that now and we think about trees and we think about plants and all of this stuff, then that could help us have an advantage later on. But who knows, if AI like
I don't know.
takes over, then that's a whole nother thing to
The Terminator.
worry about. Yeah.
No, but
anyway, this
that's the
was
difference.
beautiful. Hopefully you guys have a very wonderful Earth Day. Try to get outside. Try to
Take up
smell
that
a
vitamin D.
flower. Yeah, take a little walk,
Yeah.
hug a tree. Casual, you know? Thank you everyone so much for watching us. If you enjoyed the video in any way, whether it's our commentary or the video or Aurora herself, please give it a like or dislike accordingly. Please follow Aurora and support her as well. We appreciate you all being here with us, and we'd love to see you in the next one.
Thank you.
Bye everyone.
Bye.